Hello, I am SquidofLove. Welcome back to our weekly look on the development of Star Citizen. The AG Sabre is of course the winner of the Dogfighter of the Year title, and this was not a surprise at all. That means that the Sabre is going to be available for purchase in the Pledge Store until October 7th, 9 AM Pacific time. So if you always wanted a Sabre, but you never had the opportunity to buy one before, this is your chance. You have until this Friday, October 7th, to buy the ship of your dreams. Sadly, this is the finale for the Galactic Tour. That means no more free fly events, no more limited ships available to purchase in Pledge Store, and of course no more polls. But don't worry, all these limited ships will return in November during the anniversary sale, and we are probably going to also see the Polaris. The Polaris might be available to purchase during this event. Nothing is sure, but we keep hearing about the Polaris. I keep mentioning the Polaris, so this might be a very good indication that it will probably be available for us. Let's go ahead now and take a look at some very interesting new features that were shown to us during this week's Around the Verse, and we are going of course to start with radar and scanning. We had the opportunity to see what the developers are working at the moment, and it was definitely interesting. It has created a lot of controversy. Many people complain about this new scan feature. Many people are complaining that this feature, as it was shown, doesn't suit to the gameplay of Star Citizen. All I have to say is that probably this was the first step of getting scanning into the game, and we will have to wait and get a lot more new info about this very interesting mechanic that will definitely have a huge impact in the Star Citizen universe. Scanning is going to change in Star Citizen. It is not going to be as it is right now. At the moment we have passive scanning, and the moment another player or an NPC gets next to you, near to you, in the appropriate range, you can see info about his ship, info about his crime status, etc, etc. This is obviously going to change. We are going to have some active scan in the future where we will have to scan a ship in order to get info, specific info depending on the scanner we're using, about that ship, about the player or the NPC that is flying the ship. Scans will be able to reveal ship's passengers, if they have a criminal status, their cargo, and other useful info that will help us depending our profession, depending on what we want to achieve. Obviously, scanning is going to be based on the IR and EM emissions, in general the emissions of the ship, of the items a player is carrying on him, and depending on the strength of these emissions and the strength of the radar, we will be able to tell if something is somewhere or not. All this sounds really nice. What actually caused the controversy was a golf swing type mechanic that was shown in this Around the Verse, a mechanic that we will have to find the sweet spot, and if we are successful it will send out a pulse that amplifies the signal and help us discover ships and other players in the area. But if we fail, the radar will send out a loud signal, and it will betray our position. Others will be able to detect us easily. It does sound like a mini-game in the scanning part of Star Citizen, but I honestly believe this is the first part of implementing the scan mechanics in the game, and I really think that we should wait and see how this will flesh out. And of course our feedback is going to be quite important. After we try this new scan system, when it will be in the game, then we can give feedback, we can see what it actually is, and help the developers create a very good scanning mechanic in the game. Something else I would also like to mention is that the developers are also thinking of adding a scanning mechanic for players, for FPS combat, based on sound signals. Again, we will have to test it and see how it looks like, how it works. Let's move on now and take a look at the Vanguard Hoplite, a very good look on the alterations that were made to the Vanguard base model in order to turn the Hoplite into a dropship. The Hoplite will have similar weapon capabilities with the Warden, but it will have an alternate RAB. It will be bigger RAB, so it will allow players to enter this dropship easily. Up to 4 players will be able to enter simultaneously in this dropship with this bigger hub, and it will also be easier to move inside the Hoplite. Another minor change is the color of the Hoplite. Since it's a UEE dropship, it will be green instead of the black of the Warden. Very interesting ship, very interesting for group gameplay. We have already talked about the change that will come to the flight model with the next update, the 2.6. The general idea behind these changes is to lower combat speeds, the SCM speeds of the spaceships, speed up accelerations, and in general give a more close and personal feeling to dogfights. According to the developers, this change will make ships feel heavier, it will give more character to the ships we are flying, it will make them easier to control, and it will be a lot more enjoyable to fight with them. Some changes also will happen to the afterburn, it will have more fuel, it will be easier for players to use it when they need to escape. In general, this is another new feature that we will have to try first, then judge it and give feedback to the developers. I personally can't wait to try it. I really want to see how combat will feel like with these new combat speeds. Last but definitely not least, the lobby is getting a new interface and it definitely looks awesome. In that way, it will be easier to customize our characters for Star Marine or our ships for Arena Commander, Persistent Universe later. It will be easier to get in the match. The leaderboards will be implemented into the game, so you won't have to go to an external site in order to take a look at your place on the leaderboards. There will be a better ranking system, a better matchmaking, and there will be a mobiGlas rework that will make it look awesome. The new mobiGlas is not going to be only fully customizable, showing us what info we want to see, but we will also be able to alter the color and see something that we really like. I really can't wait to see these changes coming into the game. On some other news, this Monday, October 3rd, we will get a pledge buyback token on our account, and with this we can get back a previously purchased ship to our fleet. If you haven't used your previous token, then you won't be attributed one. For subscribers, this month's free fly ship is the Misk Starfarer, a quite massive ship, so you can have a very good look at it and of course lose yourself inside its corridors. Let's not also forget that next week is CitizenCon, and I really can't wait to see what cool stuff CI is going to show us. I would love some info about the 3.0, the procedural planets that are coming with 3.0, and of course the planetary landings, the full Stanton system, and not only that, Star Marine and Squadron 42 details will also be nice. These were all the news for today. What do you think about these new features? What do you think about the scanning system? What do you think about the flight system, the changes in the flight system? And of course, what are your expectations about CitizenCon? We're going to discuss about CitizenCon again before that presentation, but I would really love to hear your thoughts. Thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. I am SquidofLove, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.